Hello everyone! This is Saurian Target welcoming you back to another Carnivores mod showcase, where today we are taking a look at two ferocious new Archosaurian add-ons for Carnivores Plus, Carnivores 2, Carnivores Triassic, and the Modders Edition engine. The first of which is the imposing Erythrasuchus, modeled, textured, sounded, and animated all by Tormer. So this is actually the second iteration of Tormer's FMM Erythrasuchus. The first we very briefly showcased in the 2021 Carnivores Mods year-end recap video. And while the old Erythro iteration was decent, it didn't quite carry that exaggerated Erythrasuchus energy that's expected of this enormous Archosaur. Erythrasuchus was the top predator of the South African Triassic period, most well known for its disproportionately gigantic head compared to the rest of its body. It looks like someone just took a big theropod head and plopped it down on a monitor lizard's body. And while Tormer's old Erythrasuchus model definitely looks Archosaurian, it doesn't quite look Erythrasuchian, actually being pretty decently proportioned, and looking more like a generic pop culture depiction of Postasuchus, rather than an Erythrasuchus. Tormer's new depiction, however, is much more in line with the expected standard for this huge-headed hunter. As a hardy, apex archosaurian predator, the FMM Erythrosuchus is quite widespread across the dinosaur planet, occupying roles in the environments of both the central sector west and east, as well as the arid Triassic sector, and appearing in different morphs depending on the environment. The Erythrosuchus of the tropical Central East is a bright yellow-green in color, with black Tyrannosaur-esque patterns running down its back and tail, while the Central West variant is a much darker, simpler green in coloration, perfectly camouflaged in rough, semi-arid jungle environments like Mount Ravan. There is, however, a third Central Sector variant, much paler and darker in coloration, that roams across the sector at will, not bound to any specific biome or ecological niche, but an adaptable, opportunistic, apex wildcard. But of course, as expected, the healthiest and most abundant population of FMM Erythrosuchus rule over the Triassic sector, where the morph's harsh orange coloration and dark stripes give them excellent camouflage in the arid environments. Erythrosuchus is a large, predatory reptile, lacking speed but boasting immense bulk and power. But despite its heft, the dinosaurian competition it faces is steep, where the Central Sector variants must compete with enormous hypercarnivores like Tyrannosaurus, Giganotosaurus, and Onychotyrannus, as well as defend themselves, their kills, and their nests from smaller, faster, pack-hunting scavengers like Velociraptor, Dromaeosaurus, and Silurus, and take down fast-moving prey like Parasaurolophus, Elaphrosaurus, and Pachycephalosaurus. It's the Triassic sector variants that are perhaps the best adapted to their ecological roles, feeding on an abundance of large, slow-moving prey like Lotosaurus and Placerius, and really only being outclassed by the towering Megalosaurus. The tropical variants likely default to hunting small sauropods or scavenging carrion as a means of survival, while the desert-based variants rule as top predators of their primitive world. No doubt an adaptable bulldozer of a beast, Erythrosuchus can take on sector-based challenges well, but life is still hard for one of the most fearsome predatory reptiles on the dinosaur planet. Personally, I think Tormer did a fantastic job with his version 2 release of an FMM Erythrosuchus. The animal's build is much more in line with what the prehistoric creature is known for, and the texture work is much more in line with the canon style than his version 1 release. All of the variant skins fit their respective sectors well, and the beast truly carries a frightening presence. Its massive, lumbering shape cannot be missed, and the deep, gurgling bellows it emits are enough to send chills down even the hardiest hunter's spine. It's so cool to see such an odd yet fearsome archosaur brought to life in Carnivores. The sounds and animations are so fitting, and the special MEE variant comes with a few surprises, including 14 unique idle animations, multiple kill animations, and appears on the radar as a little question mark, similar to the Mobile Port's Iguanodon from so many years ago. If I had to rank the sector morphs in terms of my personal favorites, I think my least favorite would have to be the Central West morph, as it's just a plain dark green in coloration, as though the Central West could use another dark green predator. Next would probably be the MEE variant. I like the unique pale gray contrasted with dark stripes, and the red eye really pops, but the stripes do seem just a little artificial and plain in design to me personally. Next would probably be the Triassic sector morph, as it fits its sector really well with harsh, blazing oranges, but I do think that the stripes are perhaps a bit too subtle and overdone. Maybe some jaguar rosette spots might have been a little more unique, and been a neat tie-in to the RSP shotgun featured on the Triassic tour. So my personal favorite Erythrosuchus skin is the Central East variant, as the rich yellow-green body with the black and yellow patterns running down the back and the tail are really quite unique and complement each other nicely. The only change that would make this sector morph the definitive Erythrasuchus, in my opinion, would maybe be the dark green head of the Central West variant on this Central East variant, maybe fading back into the black patterns that run down the back. But all in all, that's how I'd personally rank these Erythrasuchus skins. Like a lot of Mortal Zone creatures these days, I do feel like the Erythrasuchus has just a bit too much health, and it's actually surprisingly fast for being such an immense, squat beast. And let me tell you, hearing its thunderous locomotion barreling towards you is enough to kick anyone's fight or flight response into gear. But it's a great canon-style improvement over the original release, and it makes for an imposing display in anyone's trophy room. The next Archosaur add-on we're going to look at today is the voracious Venaticasuchus, modeled and animated by Jeff, with sounds by Scrungus Grungus. Venaticasuchus is another Triassic Archosaur, this time hailing from prehistoric Argentina, and characterized by its unique jaw structure, something the FMM depiction of the animal translates very well. On the dinosaur planet, Venaticasuchus is an agile, cat-like Archosaur, almost like a puma, in contrast to the Erythrasuchus's grizzly bear, emitting deep, gurgling hisses and shrieks, and stalking about on 4 long legs balanced by a strong, nimble tail. What makes the Venaticasuchus so unique among FMM Archosaurs, however, is its jaw structure, as the creature boasts some pretty gnarly curvature to its jaws, and featuring a rather slow but strong bite, something more commonly seen among herbivorous animals. However, the Venatico's wild, serrated fangs and its diet of meat clearly indicate that it is a carnivore, leading Dino Hunt scientists to conclude that this alien Archosaur is primarily a scavenger, as its slender yet armored body is too fragile to take down large armored prey, but still just a bit too heavy to run down fast-moving prey, leaving the opportunistic Venaticasuchus to clean up the remains of kills made by more specialist hunters. This carnivore is well suited to its role as a bone-crushing scavenger, however, as this adaptation, along with its mobility, allow it to travel great distances in search of a vast array of carrion, from the Central to the Triassic sector. And no matter the sector, one particular prey item stands out among the rest as lacking both armor and speed: human beings. A relatively new, easy, and fresh kill to make for the slow, skull-crushing bite of a Venaticasuchus. While Postasuchus still remains my favorite of the FMM Archosaurs discovered so far, Venaticasuchus is an easy second place. The anatomy of this Archosaur is so unique. It's an armored animal with lots of heavy, crocodile-like spikes and osteoderms, but is built very sleek and elegantly, almost like it's supposed to be either heavy or fast, but ends up being neither, giving it such an interesting and seemingly conflicting role in the environments of the dinosaur planet. The croc's coloration is superb, with the soft magenta hide contrasted by dark purple spots, and a bright yellow mouth hinting at a potentially bacterial bite. It's got perfect camouflage for anywhere from the rich hills of Sunset Fields to the tainted deserts of Vertigo Range, and even the bruised mountain forests of Titan's Ridge. The Venaticasuchus's animations are smooth and lifelike, really conveying the elegant, cat-like energy this Crocodilian exudes. And I especially appreciate the nod to the animal's strong, slow bite in its kill animation, as the creature deliberately crunches down on the hunter's skull with such determination. And the sound work of the animal is so fitting, with a mix of deep, billowing grumbles and raspy howls. It feels like a big old crocodile, and yet so much more nimble at the same time. And like the Erythrasuchus, the Venaticasuchus can be hunted in either the Central Sector or the Triassic Sector, and makes for a visually appealing and interesting prize in either sector's trophy room. Ultimately, these two Archosaurs may be polar opposites in terms of size and build, but do make for a couple of fierce crocodilian quarries, and highlight just how unique and diverse the creatures of FMMUV32 really are, even among such closely related individuals as these. Their designs are fantastically canon style, the animations and sounds excellently bring them to life, they're uniquely primitive, quadrupedal carnivores in a predominantly bipedal predator-dominated world, and can be hunted in either the Central or Triassic Sector, which gives them such an intriguing, wildcard personality. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Archosaurs myself, they're just really cool creatures, and I love seeing FMM's Archosaurian roster filling out with such fantastic new additions. Alright, so there you go guys! Two kinda new prehistoric reptiles are ready to be hunted down in your PC version of Carnivores. And as always, there are download links to the respective ModDB pages in the description below. But which of these creatures is your favorite? Which Erythrasuchus variant do you prefer? And will you be hunting these creatures down in the Central or Triassic Sector? Or both? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Thanks as always for watching guys, you are all truly the best, and I will see you guys next time.